What's up, guys? Decided to bring you guys out here with me today to the closest thing to woodlands that we've got in Oklahoma City area. And been thinking a lot about adapters, and my favorite Micro Four Thirds adapter, which is this guy here. It is a M42 to Micro Four Thirds adapter, and let's get into that here a little bit more here in a second. So yeah, one of the reasons that this adapter is my favorite, it's one of the only helicoid adapters I've been able to find for my Micro Four Thirds, which means, I don't know how well that comes across on camera, but you can actually thread that thing out there and get that lens quite a ways away from your camera body, so you can scoot this thing out like that, which gives you a really really close focusing distance. So with this lens, it's a Vivitar 28mm f2.5 lens, and so with it on Micro Four Thirds, it gives you about a 56mm equivalent. So it's a nice normal length lens, prime lens, but when you add being able to close focus, like practically up until it's so touching the lens hood is how close you can get it. So it's freaking cool for that. But yeah, so if you can get that to close focus down on stuff, you can get a really cool macro shots with it, which I'm not that great at, but I've tried some. Another cool thing with this lens for video, the manual focus ring on it is super smooth, and it has a really long throw. There's fully close. There's infinity focus right there. So it's really smooth to focus for video. I get the downside, I guess, is the aperture is click. So it does make some noise, but at f2.5, 56mm on Micro Four Thirds, you can get some pretty cool bokeh, especially if you're close to your subject with cool bokeh in the background. But yeah, so with this lens, I've shot a lot of the B-roll. I'm going to shoot some more on the way back towards the car as it's starting to get a little darker out, and take some photos with it as well. Show you kind of the macro capability with this adapter on it, and things like that. If you're interested in the lens, let me know. I might make a video about it as well. Like I said, it's a Vivitar 28mm f2.5. Kind of surprised how sharp it is, even on Micro Four Thirds even. It's an all metal lens, so it's nice and chunky, hefty. Like I said, the focus ring is silky smooth and really long. The aperture ring is regular click type, so I guess that's not a pro or a con depending on what you do. But yeah, this thing is fun, and I really enjoy shooting it. And like I said, well, shoot some more B-roll with it, get some more photos with it, and go from there. So yeah, we'll see you here in a sec. Also, I just wanted to share with you, this is the 28mm f2.5 on the Micro Four Thirds camera, as far away as my arm will stretch. So 28mm full frame lens on Micro Four Thirds, not a vlogging lens. So another thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was filming myself back in a different location, that was with my Lumix 12-35 f2.8 lens. Currently we're using the Vivitar 28 f2.5 lens on that M42 to micro four thirds adapter. It's been really fun kind of challenging myself again to use that prime lens, being it translates to about 56 millimeters in full frame equivalency. So it's a real standard focal length, and it's obviously not zooming, so it's been fun getting out here and shooting photos and b-roll and everything, trying to do that on this standard focal length instead of using the zooms. Lately I've been using that 12-35 a lot. I have an old Vivitar 70-210 I've been using, things like that, so it's been kind of a challenge and fun to grab this prime lens and come out here and do that. So if you haven't been shooting your primes for a while, I definitely recommend pick that baby up, bring it out to the woods or the city or something, get to work with it, have some fun, challenge yourself. The other thing I didn't mention, that micro four thirds adapter that I'm using, the M42 to MFT, it will adapt to the M42 Pentax screw lenses over to micro four thirds. The brand I'm using, I'll have to look it up and see. I cannot recall what it is at the moment, but I'll either put it below or later in the video something. But it's pretty well made. It seems like it's made out of brass or some other kind of metal, maybe aluminum. The helicoid focus is nice and smooth. It gives you pretty fine incremental adjustments. Gives you quite a range too, probably 1 inch to 2 inches of distance from the body of the camera for that close focus action. So it's really fun, it's really versatile, it's pretty cool to use. So I think they're a little more expensive than the traditional dumb adapters that you get for 10 or 15 bucks. I think this one was around 30. So there's a little more cost involved, but still pretty cheap compared to getting a dedicated macro if you don't shoot macro often, or just something to play with if you have some old M42 lenses laying around, something like that. Check into it. Like I said, I'll say which brand this one is and give you guys some ideas either in the description below or later in the video, something like that. But yeah, get out, have some fun with these old primes. I know I'm enjoying it. We'll see you later. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention behind me there is the Canadian River. So that's kind of a cool little perk as well in the summertime. I guess people swim and stuff out there and do trashy things like that. Oklahoma.